In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I use Total Boat's tabletop epoxy to make some of my charcuterie boards, coasters, and things like that. I'm also going to be doing another just week in the life of a business owner vlog. I just want to thank Total Boat so much for sending me this package. This is the first company that has ever reached out to me and offered me free product. So I'm just so grateful for that, especially because it's the brand Total Boat. I've only heard positive things about this company, and I'm just so grateful and blessed for this opportunity. So they sent me their Maker Epoxy and their tabletop epoxy, and as I was opening this package that they sent me, I was just pleasantly surprised and so happy with how much stuff they sent me. I was really only expecting the 2 bottles of epoxy, but as I was opening the box, I noticed that they sent me a variety of measuring cups and stir sticks. They also sent me one of their hats as well. So I'm just so grateful for that, and I can't wait to go into detail on their tabletop epoxy today. I will be going into depth on their Maker Epoxy in another video, so stay tuned for that. Something that's so important and is honestly key to using epoxy is making sure that you are using your epoxy according to your manufacturer's directions. So for Total Boat, they want you to use a 1-to-1 ratio, which means they just want you to use equal parts of side A and side B to harden the epoxy correctly. So there's multiple ways you can measure out your epoxy. I personally just eyeball it with measuring cups, but if you want to take the extra step, you could always grab a scale and use it by weight. A lot of people do that and it works fine for them, but it's so important to make sure that you're measuring it correctly, because resin can be very difficult and frustrating to work with when it's not curing correctly. Like your pieces are going to cure sticky, and that's just not fun. After mixing for about 3 to 5 minutes per Total Boat's instructions, I go ahead and I just pour a bit of clear resin on top of each piece, enough to cover the entire piece. And that just kind of lets me know if I poured and mixed enough resin for all of my pieces. Sometimes it's super easy to underestimate how much epoxy you actually need to finish your projects. So I kind of just figure it out ahead of time so I'm not wasting time towards the end, because honestly, tabletop epoxy cures very quickly. It's to start to cure within like 30 minutes of you pouring the resin out. So I try to just figure things out as quick as I can. But that's just my technique. Of course, whenever you start using your resin and you start picking up on your own techniques, you figure out what works best for you. Some of my epoxy must-haves are a heat gun, a torch, reusable mixing cups and spoons, gloves, and a respirator with replacement filters. If you have any questions about any of the materials that I use, definitely leave a comment down below and I can definitely help you out with some tips. Something I really appreciate about Total Boat is how great their epoxy is. almost instantly I could tell that my pigments were a lot thicker than what I was used to. And at first it had me a little bit worried because I'm used to my cells and lacing almost happening instantly when using my heat gun. But with the Total Boat epoxy, the cells and lacing didn't happen until I used my torch. And it really just made my cells and laces a lot thicker and just a lot more detailed, and it added a lot more depth to my piece. So I really appreciate their quality because it makes my products and my pieces higher quality as well. Something I like to do whenever I'm packaging orders is weigh out the package, write down my customer's name, the size of their package, and the weight of their package. So whenever I go to buy and print labels, it just makes everything a lot quicker.